What's going on, guys? It's Caleb, and today we have a Porsche Cayenne in the shop for a detail. Now, originally this car was in for a single stage correction and a ceramic coating, but as we go through the job, you guys will see that turned into a little bit more, especially on the rear bumper. A little bit of a dealership special, but that's why it's here with me. We're gonna make it look nice and beautiful, but before we do anything, we gotta get the exterior nice and cleaned up, because as you guys saw from the beginning footage, it's pretty bad. So starting with the wheels, we're using some P&S brake buster mixed with some Adams iron remover. Let's get these nice and cleaned up and then move to the paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the washing process by foaming it down, but if you look over here, that's rain clouds, so I'm not really too sure how long I'm gonna last. But I do have a plastic bag to kind of put over the camera in case worst case scenario, but I really just don't want to get wet. As you guys can see, the exterior paintwork is very, very dirty, and before we can do any kind of hand washing, let alone put a clay bar or polisher on it, we definitely have to give it some attention. So we're gonna go ahead and foam the car down and let it dwell for a bit, and while it's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and hit every trim piece with a brush, make sure all the crevices are nice and cleaned out. And my foam mixture is more or less like a pre-treatment mixture, so it's gonna have all-purpose cleaner mixed in with it, and what that's going to do is not only help break down all the debris sitting on the paint, but it's also going to help strip off any wax or sealants that are on there. It's a customer's. I wish, I'd like it.
It's about what, 80 now?
Say what?
It's about 80 now?
Ah, give or take, yeah, about 80. It's beautiful.
It is.
Just in the nick of time before it started raining.
Buenos noches.
And we're on to the next day with the Porsche Cayenne. I need to get this thing nice and decontaminated. My clay bars finally came in. I went back with the white fine clay bars just because I like those way more. All right, let's go ahead and do a paint inspection. Here, got some rotary marks from what looks like getting rid of sanding. Yeah, nice. All the way to the edge where you can see it was sanded, it looks like. So I'm gonna take a guess that this has been resprayed. It doesn't travel to that. Standard wear and tear. Oh yeah. Wow. Holy cow. Yeah, it looks like it goes out to here. So like this is like the rear quarter and then blends outwards. So definitely a bunch of rotary burn, and then you can tell A, it wasn't refined, but B, it was probably sanded, and that's why there's rotary marks, because they probably ended up doing some sort of paint repair and then used a rotary to kind of clean up the sanding marks and then didn't refine it. That's crazy. What about right here? So that there is your classic rotary hologram. Someone has obviously in some capacity been through and done some sort of correcting, whether it was paint repair, especially back there, and it looks like some other minor places on the car, like on the passenger side back door, there's a little spot too that looks like it hasn't been refined, but whoever did it forgot to refine the rear end, so. But that's why it's here with us. We're gonna go ahead and clean all that up, which is gonna be really cool for before and after. I'm actually really excited about that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start taping some things up. The trim, I am going to just tape over this for now, and I'll try to hit that as the very last thing. I just don't want the pad to transfer to the trims. Now, the owner did not tell me anything about the rear end. I actually found out later on when we were done that there was actual work done to it. The whole rear end got replaced and resprayed. But when I find something like that through a paint inspection, it gets me really excited. Moving into the correction portion of the job, obviously the rear end's going to get the most attention here because it needs the most work. The rest of the car is going to get a single stage polish, which we'll get into a bit later, but as for the rear, we really had to work at it. I ended up using a lighter compound like Sonax Cut Max with a microfiber pad. Now for some paints it's a little aggressive, but for a Porsche it's not too bad. Yeah, I could have thrown a very heavy compound at it and it just attacked it at full force, but with this being a newer car and obviously there being paint work already being done, I'm trying to keep in mind the integrity of the paint. This car is newer, it's got a long life ahead of itself, and I really don't want to take out a bulk amount of paint if I really don't have to. So we're going to take the lighter approach, polish, check, polish, check, polish, check, until eventually it just corrects itself back to a beautiful glossy black, which it does. We actually have a doo-doo in the paint right here. We are going to start cutting with compound on the rear bumper where you saw those hologram trails using a Meguiar's microfiber cutting pad and some Sonax Cut Max because it is aggressive compound, but it's also not the most aggressive compound. Layer of cloudiness throughout the rear of that bumper, just because that's going to tell us that we got through that rotary hologram stuff, and when we go back through and finish it later on, whenever we go back and do the rest of this, it'll look so good. It'll look so good. So this turned out gorgeous. The whole rear end has been completely revived, and that's nice because I was worried as to whether or not it would take a lot to get rid of it or go smoothly, and it went really smoothly. Anyways, now I'm gonna go around the entire passenger side of the car because that's all that's left needing to be polished. I think I'm gonna stick with the yellow pads. The finish is a lot better, so we'll stick with that and keep it going. Let's talk about this front bumper real quick. This is all PPF. What I am gonna do is take some finishing polish with a black finishing pad and go through and hit pretty much the entire car if time allows for it, but at the very least, hit the front bumper with it just to clean up that PPF, as well as the side mirrors, the rear view ones, and make it look really nice and glossy. Alright, so we got about 20 minutes of extra time. Let's see if we can smash out a finishing polish step. We're going to be using a Griot's Garage black finishing pad with super finish from Menzerna. Should be nice, especially on a flat black paint. the paintwork being wrapped up, we went ahead and wiped everything down with an isopropyl alcohol mixture, went through and did some toothpickery, as Jim from White Details would call it, made sure everything was squeaky clean, pulled out our applicator pad as well as our Drexler ceramic coating system, and started going at this thing. As I was going through the coating process, it was crazy. I do understand that it's a black vehicle, and yes, black vehicles are a pain, and it can be terrible to upkeep, but when this thing is clean and being coated, it is a beautiful, beautiful vehicle to look at.
Spiner.
Since we've put the layers of ceramic on the car, we've come back down the next day and put on bottle number 2. Bottle number 2 is going to be more or less like a ceramic stabilizer spray. It's going to give it that even slicker look, it's going to give it the even slicker feel, and overall just kind of puts that cherry on top and finalizes the ceramic coating from Drexler. And to kind of wrap everything up, we're going to go ahead and use some ceramic trim shine from Stoner Car Care. This stuff is fantastic as an exterior trim restorer as well as interior. I like to use this stuff on dashes. It brings back that really nice deep matte black look that is just awesome. It has that sheen to it, and because it's infused with silicon dioxide ceramic that you know for sure it's going to be protected from UV, this is probably one of the best ways to protect your exterior trim other than their actual ceramic coating meant for trim. All of it's linked down below if you're interested in any of the products that I use from them. They're an awesome company and a sponsor of the channel. Other than that, we have to throw throw on some tire dressing, which I like to apply with a brush and come back after about 15 minutes or so and wipe it off. And I think that's it. This car was definitely full of ups and downs, but at the end of it, it came out beautiful and I'm so happy with it. Go ahead and stick around for the ending cinematic and I will see you guys in the next video. Later. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. This thing's amazing. If you liked it, leave a like, and if you like car content, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. See ya. It's gonna rain. Owner needs to come get this because it's gonna rain. We're Florida. It's summer now. Rain comes all the time.